Calvin Harris.
Adam Richard Wiles, better known by his stage name Calvin Harris, is a Scottish DJ, singer-songwriter, and producer. He owns the vanity label Fly Eye Records. His gold-selling debut album, I Created Disco, was released in 2007 and contained the top 10 singles acceptable in the 80s, and The Girls. His second studio album, Ready for the Weekend, reached number 1 on the UK album chart and includes I'm Not Alone, which debuted at number 1 on the UK singles chart, the top 5 hit Ready for the Weekend, and the singles Flashback, and You Used to Hold Me. A remix album titled LED Festival was released in July 2010 as a free album in the August issue of Mixmag. Harris released his third studio album, 18 Months in October 2012, which contained the singles Bounce, Feel So Close, Let's Go, We'll Be Coming Back, Sweet Nothing, Drinking from the Bottle, I Need Your Love, and Thinking About You. All of these singles reached a UK top 10. He has written and produced tracks for other recording artists including Kylie Minogue, Sophie Ellis-Bextor, Dizzy Rascal, Cheryl Cole, Example, and Rihanna on We Found Love, an international success and one of the best-selling singles of all time. Harris holds the record for the most top 10 hits from one studio album on the UK singles chart with 9 hits, surpassing Michael Jackson. According to Forbes, Harris was the highest-paid DJ of 2013, grossing an estimated $46 million.
Biography. Early life and career.
Harris was born Adam Richard Wiles on January 17, 1984 in Dumfries, Scotland. He states that he was a fan of football and aspired to be like Steve McManaman. But I never had curly hair, so I got into music. If I'd had curly hair, things would have been different. Born and raised at Doornhamer, when interviewed on Soccer Saturday he said his team was hometown club, Queen of the South. He was first attracted to electronic music in his teens and was recording bedroom demos by 1999. His earliest success was when he was 21, the songs Dar Bongos and Brighter Days were released as a 12-club single and CD EP by the Prima Facie label in early 2002 under the name Stufa. He released one song in 2004, Let Me Know, with artist Ayar Mara. The song appears on the Unabomber's Electric Soul 2.
2006-08, I Created Disco.
Harris signed contracts with 360 Group, Management, EMI, Publishing, and Sony BMG, Recording, in 2006 after he had been discovered by Tommy Sunshine on the social networking website MySpace and his music was released on Sunshine's label Xylophone Jones Recordings previous to his album on Sony BMG. Harris had recently moved back from London to his hometown of Dumfries because he was unable to find a job. Later in 2006, Harris produced a remix of All Saints' hit single Rock Steady. Harris's first album, I Created Disco, was released in June 2007. The album contains up-tempo electric-lash songs that were influenced by music from the 1980s. To promote I Created Disco, Harris embarked on a tour of the UK, supporting Faithless and Groove Armada. I Created Disco was certified gold by the British phonographic industry for sales of 100,000 copies in the UK, where it reached number 8 on the UK albums chart. The first single, Vegas, was issued on limited edition vinyl. The first wide-release single from the album was Acceptable in the 80s, a tribute to the style and culture of the decade. The song reached number 10 on the UK singles chart, remaining on the chart for 15 weeks. The Girls, the album's third single, peaked at number 3 in the UK, although the fourth release, Merrymaking at My Place, reached only number 43. The fifth and final single, Colours, was featured in television advertisements for DFS Sofas and Kia Motors. On October 18, 2008, Harris was featured on BBC Radio 1's Essential Mix with a 2-hour set.
2008-10, Ready for the Weekend and Chris Brown controversy.
In April 2008, Harris stated that the only existing copy of his then upcoming album, which he had been working on for 7 months, was lost when the bag containing his laptop was misplaced during the baggage handling problems at the opening of London Heathrow Terminal 5. In an interview with Pub Justice in April 2009, Harris admitted that while he did lose his bags at Heathrow, he lied about the laptop being in his luggage in order to buy himself some more time to finish recording the album, adding that the idea was concocted by him and his sound engineer. The album, Ready for the Weekend, was released in August 2009 and debuted at number 1 on the UK Albums Chart, eventually being certified gold by the BPI for shipments of 100,000 copies. I'm Not Alone, released as the album's lead single in April 2009, debuted at number 1 on the UK Singles Chart and was shortlisted for the Pub Justice PS20 Music Prize. The follow-up single, Ready for the Weekend, reached number 3. Other tracks included on the album are Worst Day featuring Isa Kizza and Yeah 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 La La La, which was used in a Coca-Cola advertisement in the summer of 2009. Harris toured around the UK, Ireland, France, the Netherlands and the United States promoting the album. In June 2009, Harris appeared at the Summertime Ball at the Emirates Stadium, and in August, he made an appearance on the first Soccer AM show of the season. Harris performed at Wembley Stadium in October 2009 as part of the pre-game entertainment for the NFL International Series game between the New England Patriots and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The third single from Ready for the Weekend, Flashback, reached number 18 in the UK, and the fourth, You Used to Hold Me, charted at number 27. During promotion of the album, Harris hosted a series of videos on YouTube titled Jam TV, in which musicians such as Florence Welch, Goldie and Katy Perry tried to open pots of jam. In 2010, Harris received a Brit Award nomination for British Male. On November 14, Harris invaded the stage of the X Factor during a performance by Irish duo Jedward, holding a pineapple on his head and bending over to point at his buttocks. He was subsequently escorted from the studio by the security team and ejected from the ITV2 program The X Factor, where he was due to appear as a guest the same night. He later apologized on Twitter, "At the end of the day, I had a pineapple on my head. Sorry if I caused anyone embarrassment. P.S. I love Jedward." The same week, Harris spoke to the Chris Moyles Show and revealed that he had been inspired to make a mockery of the show, as well as stating, "If you look at music, it's a frightening stranglehold that Simon Cowell has got over the entire music chart in the UK at the moment." On the same day, Jedward's mentor Louis Walsh, appearing on the Paul O'Grady Show, accused Harris of trying to cash in on the duo's fame, and claimed to not know who he was. Harris claimed that Year 3X plagiarized his 2009 single I'm Not Alone. Harris tweeted, "Choked on my cornflakes when I heard new Chris Brown single this morning. Do you know what I mean?" After receiving many abusive messages from Brown's fans after posting the comment, Brown took exception to this while Harris tweeted he had never heard of him. Having considered similarities between the two songs, Harris' name was subsequently added to the songwriting credits on the single and the FAME album.
2010-13, 18 months.
Harris played at the 2010 Big Day Out, a music festival which takes place in several major cities in Australia and Auckland, New Zealand. In May 2010, he performed at Evolution Festival in Newcastle upon Tyne, and in July he played at Splendour in Nottingham and headlined at the Stockton International Riverside Festival in Stockton-on-Tees. In July 2010, Harris released a mix, titled LED Festival, short for LED Festival Presents Calvin Harris, which was available for 1 month as a free cover mount CD and Mixmag. Harris appeared at the 10th birthday of A House in Auckland, New Zealand, in November 2010, alongside Afrojack, and performed an hour-long DJ set at Australia's Stereosonic Festival alongside Tiesto, Carl Cox, Afrojack and Major Lazer in November and December 2010, in several major Australian cities including Sydney and Melbourne. In 2011, he toured with Rihanna as a support act on the European leg of her Loud Tour. Rihanna was quoted to say that Calvin is the perfect fit for the Loud Tour. He is going to bring something unique and fun for the fans. Harris played the 2011 Mardi Gras party in Sydney on March 5. During March and April 2011, Harris was scheduled to be an opening act DJ for Katy Perry on the UK leg of her California Dreams tour, but he withdrew from the tour shortly before his first date, citing production issues and difficulties with Perry's management in his apology to her fans. Perry publicly criticized Harris via her Twitter feed, stating that the tour's other support acts had expressed no problems with their production arrangements, but Harris later said it's all fine between them and that he would still like to work with her in the future. Harris headlined Limelight at Metropolis Fremantle in Western Australia in March 2011 in celebration of the event's 4th birthday, where he played small samples of his new track, Awooga, which was subsequently uploaded onto YouTube via his channel. Following Awooga, Harris released the single Bounce, a collaboration with Kellys that debuted at number 2 on the UK singles chart in June 2011. Another single, Feel So Close, was released in August 2011 and also reached number 2 in the United Kingdom. Feel So Close became Harris's first solo entry on the Billboard Hot 100 in the United States, peaking at number 12. Harris performed at the 2011 Jingle Bell Ball concert, and was announced as one of the headline acts at a number of Southern Hemisphere 2011/2012 New Year music festivals, including Sure Thing and Field Day in Sydney, as well as Rhythm and Vines in New Zealand. Let's Go featuring Ne-Yo, released in April 2012, also reached number 2 in the UK, while reaching number 6 in Ireland. It was his second Hot 100 appearance as a main artist, charting at number 17. The song was commissioned for a Pepsi Max advertising campaign. We'll Be Coming Back, featuring rapper Example, was released as the 4th single in July 2012. It peaked at number 2 in the UK, and reached number 1 in Ireland. The 5th single, Sweet Nothing, features Florence Welch of Florence and the Machine, and was released on October 14, 2012. It peaked at number 1 on the UK singles chart, marking Harris' first number 1 single as main artist in the United Kingdom since his 2009 single, I'm Not Alone as a main artist. The song peaked at number 10 on the Billboard Hot 100. These singles became part of his newest album, which was released on October 29, 2012 in the UK. He has said of the album, I'm going for pretty epic-sounding dance records. I guess the whole sound has just moved on in terms of production as I've got a new studio and some new gear to make the sounds I wasn't able to make before. On August 22, 2012, Harris announced via Twitter that his third studio album will be titled 18 Months and will feature Kellys, Rihanna, Example, Nicky Romero, Ellie Goulding, Tiny Temper, Florence Welch, Dizzy Rascal, Ne-Yo, Aya Mara and Dylan Francis. Harris was the house DJ at the 2012 MTV Video Music Awards held at the Staples Center, Los Angeles, where he won Best Electronic Video for Feel So Close, and Video of the Year alongside Rihanna for We Found Love. In February 2013, Harris signed as the first exclusive resident DJ at the MGM Grand's Hack-San nightclub in Las Vegas, where he currently performs on a regular basis. Harris performed as part of the post-race concert of the 2013 Formula One Bahrain Grand Prix in April 2013.
2014, 4th studio album.
On March 14, 2014, Harris's song Summer premiered on the UK's Capital FM. The track was released on March 14, 2014 as the first single from his forthcoming 4th studio album.
Productions and songwriting.
In 2007, Harris caught the attention of Australian pop singer Kylie Minogue after his recordings had been passed on to her by another record producer. This led to him co-writing and producing 2 songs on her 2007 album X, Heartbeat Rock, and In My Arms, the latter a top 10 hit in the UK. Harris said that working with Minogue was surreal, but fun, although he admitted to Mixmag in 2007 to needing a few drinks before meeting her. Harris returned to work with Minogue on her album Aphrodite, 2010, co-producing the track Too Much. In 2008, Harris collaborated with rapper Dizzy Rascal on his single Dance With Me, producing the track and singing the hook. The single reached number 1 in the UK and has been certified platinum by the BPI, selling 600,000 copies. It was shortlisted for the 2008 Pop Justice PS20 Music Prize and, in 2009, received a Brit Award nomination for British Single and an Ivor Novello Award nomination for Best Contemporary Song. In 2009, he produced Dizzy Rascal's next single titled Holiday, which also reached number 1. He was supposed to make an appearance in its music video, but objected to dancing along in some scenes, wearing a certain shirt for the video and not wearing his fly eyeglasses. Also in 2009, Harris made a guest appearance on Tiesto's song Century on the Dutch producer's album Kaleidoscope. Harris produced a track for English singer-rapper Example for his second album Won't Go Quietly, 2010, Time Machine, and mixed the Ting Tings UK Top 40 single Hands, having previously remixed the duo's singles Great DJ, 2008, and We Walk, 2009. In 2011, Harris featured on LMFAO's album Sorry for Party Rocking, appearing on the track Reminds Me of You, which is based on Harris's own song Awooga. Harris produced Tinchy Strider's second single, Off the Record from his fourth studio album, Full Tank. The track had its premiere on September 15, 2011, and was released in the UK on November 6, 2011. Following a stint as her support act on the Australian leg of her tour, Harris produced We Found Love, and Where Have You Been for Barbadian singer Rihanna. The former is the lead single from her sixth studio album, Talk That Talk, and was premiered in September 2011. It has reached number 1 in countries such as the UK and the United States, becoming Harris's first charting appearance on the Billboard Hot 100. In an interview for Q magazine, Harris said of the lyric We found love in a hopeless place it could have been Jumpin' Jacks in Dumfries, Harris' hometown, I don't know exactly what I was thinking about. He co-wrote and co-produced the bonus track One Life for R&B singer Mary J. Blige's album My Life 2. The Journey Continues, Act 1, 2011. Harris worked with American pop band Scissor Sisters on the single Only the Horses from their fourth studio album, Magic Hour. He wrote and produced Cheryl Cole's single Call My Name, the lead single from her third album A Million Lights. He won an Ivor Novello Award for Songwriter of the Year in 2013.
Other work.
In 2007, Harris contributed the song Off and On to Roisin Murphy's album Overpowered, but it was cut from the album. Harris later gave the song to Sophie Ellis-Bextor to record for her 2011 album Make a Scene. Harris also produced a remix of Dragonette's debut single I Get Around that was rejected by the band. In 2007, Kellys discussed plans to work with Harris on her then upcoming album, although this did not materialize. Harris did, however, produce a remix of Flesh Tone's second single, 4th of July, Fireworks, and later collaborated with her on his 2011 single Bounce. American singer Katy Perry expressed an interest in working with Harris in 2009, and at one point they has penciled recording sessions for her second album, Teenage Dream, 2010, but no material was released. Harris worked with boy band JLS on songs for their second album, Out of This World, 2010, but none of his work made the cut for the album. Harris also unsuccessfully tried to follow up his successful collaboration with Rihanna by submitting tracks for her seventh studio album, Unapologetic, 2012. He had completed a portion of the song, but missed the deadline. Harris admitted, "You can't work under that kind of pressure. I can't anyway." In April 2012, it was reported that Harris had contributed several tracks to Kesha's then upcoming second studio album, Warrior. However, none of these tracks made the final cut.
Concert tours.
Groove Armada, Soundboy Rock Tour, 2007, Faithless, To All New Arrivals Tour, 2007, Ready for the Weekend Tour, 2009-10, Dead May 5 and Skrillex, Unhooked Tour, 2010, Rihanna, Last Girl on Earth Tour and Loud Tour, 2011, Budweiser Made in America Festival, 2012-13, Philadelphia, Stories Sonic Festival Tour, 2013, Australia, Greater Than Tour, with Tiesto, 2013, UK and Ireland, Coachella Music Festival, 2014.
Discography.
I Created Disco, 2007, Ready for the Weekend, 2009, 18 Months, 2012.
Awards and nominations.